An admirable effort, hero. But it's time to die. Hey, Ugly. No one kills him but me. I thought you were on the same side. We are. Yeah. So, you still intend to kill him? Are you a traitor? No. I'm mean to him sometimes, so it's sort of open-ended. You know, who knows what I'm gonna do next? Who knows? You've helped him in every aspect of this adventure. Yeah, but I mean, we're fiercely competitive, him and I. Is it the competition to see who's a better friend? You know, we have traveled together for some time, and it has given me a bit of thought. If I am to die on this adventure, could you take my ashes to the peak that overlooks the place where I was born? If I'm not also dead, sure. Thank you. You're a true friend. And speaking of your death, is there anything you'd like me to do, should that happen? To my body? No, I don't really care. You can dump my corpse in the woods, but I do have a list of things, if you want to look. Ah, is this a will of some kind? This is a list of people. Yep. And would you like me to inform them of your demise? As they die? Sure. Is this a hit list? What? You want me to smear your ashes on a mountainside, and that's weird? I did not say smear. I said spread them. It's spiritual. And so is murder. I'm not killing anyone for you. And why the fuck did you ask? I mean, I think there's a similarity, but I don't know that I sound exactly the same. That's a bit of an exaggeration. The Fitness Gram Pacer test is a multi-stage aerobic capacity test that gets progressively more difficult as it continues. I've discovered the most fun thing that you can do on Twitter, and it's blocking brands. Sometimes when you're scrolling through your Twitter feed, you'll see like, oh, an ad for McDonald's, and then if you click, you can block the account McDonald's, one of their billion accounts, but you can block McDonald's, and you can do that for any kind of branded sponsored thing that you see. And I started to do that because it's kind of fun. I don't know, like, let's see what happens if I just block all these people. And what happens is the more and more you accounts that you block, the more obscure the ads that you will get. So now I'm getting ads for like logging companies and coal mines and like, would you like to purchase crude oil? I can't stop. Like, I want to see where the bottom is. I want to be getting ads for like the Little Caesars that's been closed for 20 years in the previous state that I lived in. I'm digging so far down into the brand vault that now I'm sort of near the dregs at the bottom, and I'm getting stuff like, would you like to join the church of bleh? No, I'm good. I'm going to block you though. So, did you fix my car? No, I couldn't figure out how to get the headlight to work, so I shattered the other one with a wrench. You what? I just swung at it really hard and it broke.
Saint Patrick. He was given his sainthood because he drove all of the snakes out of Ireland.
Did he? He himself, with what, a fucking net? Steve Irwin, with all of the energy in the world, could not get rid of all of the snakes from anywhere. You give him a backyard and he'd be finding snakes for the next 30 years. What does it mean to drive them out of Ireland? Ireland does not connect to any other country. Did you just drive them into the ocean? What are you, a fucking monster? I wonder if that's where Nessie comes from. It's the one big snake that he couldn't get rid of. If we know each other and I don't follow you on some social media, do not take that to mean that I hate you. I probably don't, most likely. The reason I'm not following you is because you don't post stuff that I care about. And my interests are stupid, so you shouldn't take that personally, because I like videos of geese attacking people and boats sinking. I am a super well-adjusted, normal person, which is why when I go to the basement or do anything outside of my room that has content playing at all times, I have to take these with me, because if I have to stand or do anything in silence for more than 30 seconds, I'll lose my mind. Just a normal guy. The sinking of the Titanic was a tragedy, obviously. You never want to hit an iceberg, that's not fun. But the 4 or 5 or whatever violinists that unanimously decided to continue playing their instruments until the ships sank, what was going on there? Surely at least one of them was like, hey guys, fuck this, right? Maybe we don't do this. Maybe I get to leave? Are you going to keep me here? Is this a fight that's going to break out if I start walking towards a boat? No, Greg, you big weenus. Pick up that violin and start playing. We're moving on to the next concerto or whatever. I mean, if that were me, I would just bash one over the head with my cello and then go for his wallet, and then I would go to a boat. I don't really want to, commit my life to the next 30 minutes of drowning in an ice-cold abyss because 4 nerds are upset. I really enjoyed the part in Harry Potter where he's going around and collecting all his wizarding shit with Hagrid. He's like, oh, you want an owl? We'll get you an owl. And, oh, you also got to get a wand, but I'm going to go, leave you alone. Even though that I was entrusted to supervise you throughout this entire process, and I just rescued you from a dangerous alleyway that you magically teleported to. You'll be fine. Go talk to the oldest man in the world and get your wand. And he goes into the old man's shop, and the old man presents him with a wand, and he picks it up and he swings it, and it almost fucking cuts his head off or something, and then he does that like 3 more times with different wands, and the old man's like, this is a real stumper. I wonder. And then he goes and collects a wand, and then he presents it to the kid, all terrified for some reason. He's like, like keeping it really far away from himself, like it's a grenade. Good sign. And then Harry picks it up, and it does all the magical hair stuff, and then he's just like, wow. That's weird. That's the twin of the wand that killed your parents. Isn't that interesting? What is wrong with you? It is a miracle that Harry Potter survived.
When I became a doctor, I took a Hippocratic oath, meaning that I could never kill another hippopotamus.
If you have ever told someone that they need to smile more, I hope 11 pianos fall on you. And not in a row, like over time throughout your life. Like you'll be in the full body cast from the first one, still in the hospital, weeks later, months later, through bouts of physical therapy where you're, cheered on by your friends, and you're finally able to walk again, and you're leaving down those steps from the hospital, and you're like, this is a new lease on life. And then another piano will fall on you. Getting up to piano number 5, scientists would probably start to study you because they have no idea where these pianos are coming from. They're just appearing above you and crushing you every single time. But they do know one thing. It's probably your fault. Decades later, they're keeping you in an experimental bunker to make sure you're safe from this 11th piano that's coming down the line. And the doctor puts his hand on your shoulder to console you, and you turn around, but it's not the doctor, it's a piano. I've got an idea for a new mythological entity.
Shoot, go ahead.
Okay, now buckle in, alright? He's called the Sandman.
Is he like the Lord of Deserts or something?
Good guess. He has the power to throw a handful of sand into someone's face and knock them unconscious.
Is it magical sand?
Presumably, yeah, I imagine so. I mean, I've never been hit in the face with sand, but it's never knocked me out. So I assume that his sand has some kind of special property that knocks you out.
Like melatonin or something?
It could be melatonin if you think about it. I'm really enjoying all of the messages asking why I decided to join the Marines and what disease do you have that made you shave your head. I'm not in the military and I don't have anything like that. I just shaved my head because it's hot outside and I was tired of having long hair. But I'm glad you guys are treating it like I'm going to die tomorrow. And for those of you, all of you, who decided that they don't like this change, well, too bad. I'm allowed to be an egg if I want. And I know that people shaving their heads is a sign of them fucking losing their minds, but that ship kind of sailed years ago, so that's not even a worry. I want to know how long it took Hawkeye to make the decision about his hair and tattoos, after his family's dead. And in the movie it says, oh, it's been 5 years. This is 5 years later. So we're sort of led to believe, oh, these are changes that he's made over those years. But I'm desperately hoping that it was like 40 seconds after the ashes have fallen in his farm. And he's like, all right, what's the number for that hair salon? Like he goes and breaks open his in case of my family being disintegrated kit. And inside is like a sword and like stencils for a tattoo he's been thinking about getting for a while. But his wife wouldn't let him get. The only way he was able to get her to agree was like to create some crazy circumstance that she was very sure would never happen. Like, honey, if you and the kids are ever disintegrated by Thanos, would I be allowed to get that tattoo? If we're having a conversation and I say, man, I fucking hate that guy, and you take it to me, you're like one of those people that goes just like, whoa, hate is a really strong word, buddy. Don't say that. What? I didn't say that and mean it like I want to stab them and their children. It just means like I'm fucking sick of him. I hate this guy. You know what I mean? What? Where's the miscommunication? I feel like it's mostly just people want to sound like holier than thou and like self-righteous. Like, I would never say something so heinous as hate. I don't hold hate in my heart because I'm a pure joy. Shut up. Fuck you, I hate you now. Why did people breed Great Danes? What is the point of that dog? A Great Dane is like the size of a fucking horse. What is it even for? I know that like greyhounds are super fast and they chase rabbits and they eat them or whatever. What does a fucking Great Dane do? Does it man battlements outside of a castle? They're so big that if it like fell down from standing up, it would break right through your floorboards and like into your basement. And then maybe like travel to the core of the earth or something. What do you do if it gets out of your house? Do you call the National Guard or something? Great Danes should come with a set of 3D gear from Attack on Titan. Sorry if I voted for you, even though there was little to no evidence that you were the imposter. It was probably because you called an emergency meeting in the middle of the task I was trying to complete, and I felt cut off, despite the fact that these little brain teasers are designed to test the intelligence of chimpanzees and toddlers. I find them really rewarding, and I was angry. What is wrong with the first two people in Metropolis who point at Superman and think they see two things that look nothing like Superman? The first guy was like, oh my god, it's a bird. Who cares? We're in the fucking city. There's pigeons everywhere. What is wrong with you? And the second guy thought it was a plane. Planes are enormous. Superman's the size of a man. He's got arms, legs, and a cape. Fucking pay attention. You get your fucking eyes checked. I wear glasses and I could definitely tell the difference between a man and a plane. That's my bragging rights for the day. And the third guy doesn't even mention, after he points out, no, in fact, it is actually Superman, he doesn't say anything to the other two fucking idiots, the dropkicks themselves. Like, what are you doing? Inform the public that they have problems. Hey, no one cares that you saw a bird. Don't ever say that again. Also, you need to get your eyes checked. That was not a plane. There's probably nothing on the planet that I hate more, and I say this a lot because I hate a lot of things, but there's nothing on the planet that I hate more than argument referees. I cannot be the only person who is like this. Some comment is going to be like, oh, you're not the only one. There's probably an insane asylum that has a person like this. But fucking, like, you'll be in the middle of an argument, and you'll just be hitting them with a barrage of amazing points. And then these idiots will show up and just be like, guys, come on, calm down, what are you doing? You were this close to killing each other. The world's overpopulated, what are you doing? No, but, this was mean-spirited and it wasn't constructive, and you guys were just yelling at each other about who's better between Kirby and Sonic, and it's not important. It's like, you just cost the world a double homicide it sorely needs. Do you think it needs me and this fucking idiot wandering around? All these fucking nerds think that the Batman is invincible because he's got all these strategies for every situation, and his tactical mind is unmatched in its versatility when faced with everything. So, I have devised my own strategy to kill the Dark Knight, and it is as follows. Hit him with a truck. You can add your own variables to my ingenious plan, but for now, let's keep it simple and say you're driving a Bronco. Let's make it a shitty Bronco from like 1999. It's missing its front fender, but it's also a truck, and he's just a man.
You are simply forgetting the number of gadgets and gizmos he has on his person at all times, including an entire bat suit that is indestructible.
I'm gonna hit him with a truck and he's gonna die, and then the headline in the newspaper is gonna be Bruce Wayne and Batman for some reason died at the same time. It's probably my favorite kind of customer is the one that assumes that while you're also a customer service representative, your main job is coming up with rules for the entire company. Excuse me, why did you tell my son to stop doing what he was doing? Oh, well, you see, we have a rule, and he's not allowed to eat the legs of chairs, so... But why is that? Why is he not allowed to? That's a, honestly, I didn't think this would go this far. I thought that you would come upon the scene of your child working his way through the second leg of a chair and then assume that I was in the right for telling him to stop. But I can see that you're both insane. I know that people get really mad when someone says, am I the only one who? Because, there's 7 billion people. Of course you're not the only one who. But I feel like I'm the only stupid idiot in the world who doesn't know the names of highways or interstates or fucking anything that I've lived near for the last 2 decades. And when people say, hey, did you take fucking 495 to get here? I have no idea. I punched an address into my GPS and I just fucking let Jesus take the wheel, and somehow I ended up here without dying. And I think that's what we should be applauding right now.